So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever's watching, who's ever tuning in, we want to thank you to the Friday night special, the Poptastic podcast, along with the Scotch and the beautiful cigar. Today, I'm going to be puffing on another Perdomo Lot 23.
So am I.
So Mike is going with the Lot Perdomo 23 as well. And of course, you know, we got to have the Johnny Walker Black Label. That's our Scotch of choice. If you haven't had it, please go get you a bottle. You have a couple different options. You have the red label, the black label, the green label, the blue label. There's a lot of different labels of Johnny Walker. So here we are today. We're going to have ourselves a Poptastic day, a Poptastic podcast. Today is Friday in the windy city. The Arctic breeze has hit us today.
I mean, that's for sure. We got to warm up.
We have to most definitely warm up today, and we're going to have some hot, warming, steaming topics just for you. So you all stay tuned. Please dive in, cut your cigars. We're going to cut ours. We're going to get them lit, and we're going to have a Poptastic time today.
We'll be right back.
Bam.
Boom.
So this is a beautiful time. It's very relaxing. It's very chilled. And I really look forward to just gathering here with Mike and just being able to have him in our presence and pick each other's brain and just talk and air it all out and just figure out how we can take things to a whole nother level. So I'm going to start lighting my cigar. I'm going to let Mike take over. He's going to start talking while I get this bad baby right here hot and ready.
So here's something that I think we should do going forward in the podcast is, what did you do this week? What did I do this week?
Ooh.
So this week, I met with a new client. We had an awesome strategy session, and we've had a strategy session before. So this week, a couple days ago, we had a strategy session, and I actually walked them through, like, this is how we use HubSpot. This is why we use HubSpot. This is why we use 17 hats. This is how we use 17 hats. This is like totally logging in, showing them, you know, all the cool stuff. Like, here's an email. Now open the email and you'll see that I can see that you open it. I see that you clicked it. I see that you answered the questionnaire.
Wow, so you really dove in. You dove really in as far as really showing them how everything works so they can see it.
Yeah. And then we did the regular strategy session, which is, you know, when you're coming up with a brand for a business, you really have to dig in deep to figure out, you know, not just who your customer is. And when I say who, I mean who is that? Who is your customer avatar? Like, not what is the demographic? I mean who.
Okay.
And well, I'm putting my finger up because who is that one person? So when you write a website, when you write an email, when you write an ad, you're writing that letter, that email, that ad copy to that one person. Mm-hmm. So we dig in, like, who is your customer? And it's pretty cool. So now why I like mine. Tell me what's up. What happened in your neck of in your world?
Woo! My neck of the wood was very productive. This was a very, very productive week for me. Every day I wake up, I'm really grateful and thankful that I'm just alive, just to have a second chance at life, just to be able to see that day. So this week for me was a very productive week, and I'll kind of dive into it. So we had MLK Day, right? That was Monday. Most people had the day off. Actually, I came in my office and I came to work, you know, and I got a lot done. You know, I made a lot of phone calls, so I know where I want to take my business, and I know that in order for me to take my business there, I have to put in some long hours. So I kind of dedicated myself and my time to really put in that work, making a lot of phone calls to a lot of corporate accounts. Right?
Working on the business.
Now what's cool is for this week, making those calls, right, on a day that most people are off at home, I've made more connections on that day. Like, it seemed like everybody that I needed to speak with was at work, right? And they were at work. Like, compared to thinking that, hey, they possibly may be at home. No, they were at work. They were there, and it wasn't as busy for them because it was a holiday. So they were able to give me an ear and give me more time that I possibly would have not gotten if it was during a regular work day.
So were the gatekeepers home and the people you needed to talk to working?
Yes. Yes.
That is a great tip.
Yes.
That is a great that's a great tip.
So that was me on Monday. So that started my Monday off very right because I was able to set up a lot of meetings for this week. So when I say productive, all week I've been going to meetings and I've been closing deals. Like, I just got chills literally thinking about that because what my assistant, she told me, she said, Chris, you need to celebrate. And I told her, my response to her was, I'm on a mission. I don't have time to celebrate.
Yeah.
But she brought everything back to my perspective. She said, no, you do need to celebrate because what you're doing right now is paving the way for the future. Right? You may not think that it's a big deal, but what you're doing right now is really a big deal that's going to set your future up. It's really getting you to that point to where you want to be. So celebrate. So, and what's funny is that she told me to celebrate. She said, have a cigar, right? And I'm like, I am. Today is Friday, right? But now even puffing on the cigar, I'm really enjoying this cigar. This is like a celebration cigar because I realize that a lot of people look for certain results, but they don't want to put in that work.
Yeah.
So just knowing that my week has been a grind all week, meetings all week, run here, there, making it count. Not only going in, maybe I'll send you some pictures. The deals that I've closed was like I'm a little guy facing giants.
Yeah.
Kind of like David and Goliath, right? And here I am, just that little fellow with big dreams, knocking on big doors and having those big doors open up and respond to me. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So all week has been very productive. Of course, it's been positive, and I've been very optimistic this whole entire time. And it's pretty cool. Today is Friday, and I'm looking forward to Monday. So somebody told me that it's supposed to be a snowstorm on Monday. And I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I'll be out in that snowstorm because I have to be very productive. And I have 2 good meetings lined up on Monday. So that was my week. I've been making calls. I've been making connections all week. So, just going for what you want to do. Sometimes fear kind of stands in the way. Sometimes people don't understand why you're working when it's a day off, right? But for me, in my mind, it's like, man, this was beautiful. It made total sense. As being an entrepreneur, really trying to dive into it to really be like, you know what, this is what I want, and I want it so bad that I'm gonna make it happen on a day that's off to everybody else. I'm gonna make it happen. But just to see the results from that was like, man, everybody's at home thinking, everybody's resting, but no, the real people were out really busting their butts. So that was my week, man. That was my week.
So every Friday, when I say, I have Alexa, it's in my bathroom, so when I get ready in the morning, I'm like, Alexa, good morning, it tells me the weather, and then it goes through my flash briefing, all these different things that I subscribe to. And this one guy, every Friday, he has a guest on.
Okay.
And, oh my gosh, I forget the guy's name all of a sudden, but because this guy, he's like, all right, Action Closer. He's with the Action Closers Academy, so he's all about closing. He's like, all right, when everyone's ready to take the weekend off, we put our Kevlar cranium caps on, and we get ready, everybody. All right, it's Bulletproof Friday. Whoa! Woo! Exactly. So it's like everyone else is taking the weekend off. We're making money. We're like doing deals. We're like, there's like, you know what I mean? We talked about it on one of the previous episodes. Like, I've got the 60-year goal.
Right.
I'm not going to get there if I do not bust ass right now.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
I remember when we had our strategy session.
Yep.
Was it 3 years ago or 4 years? 3
years ago.
3 years ago. Oh, it was a 4-hour strategy session.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
3 years ago for 4 hours.
Yeah, it was like we laid out Chris's whole business, the different silos that he was doing, and to be honest, that Bebop-tastic thing, this is part of that vision from 3 years ago.
For 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
I just realized that right now. I think this...
Oh, here we go. He's about to do his hand motion. There it is. I'm still over here puffing.
Dude, I think
like a true cigar aficionado. Right?
You know what I think it was is I think that I didn't torch it long enough. I wasn't patient.
All right, so we're gonna dive in. Let's dive into this really fast, right? So as you know, as we do our Poptastic podcast on Fridays, we enjoy cigars and scotch. So we're gonna talk business. We're gonna talk cigars, right? So you get a little lessons about cigars, and we're gonna drink and enjoy some scotch. So if you're at home, I hope you're joining along. I hope you got yourself a scotch. Whatever you drink, whatever you smoke, hey, that's your choice. But we're enjoying scotch and cigars, right? And we're talking business. So the thing about a cigar, right?
I'm thinking maybe I'll wait.
Yeah, wait. We're gonna wait just a tab, right? I wish you can zoom up. I'm getting a good ash on this.
You are, and I'm envious. I'm envious.
Very evenly. It's very smooth. Very good. It's very good. Like I said, Perdomo Lot 23.
I got the same thing.
He got the same thing. So mind you, Mike is wondering why his cigar went out. So when you begin a cigar, it's basically like a commitment almost. So you gotta have that good ratio between puff, talk, puff, talk.
But when I was talking, while you were puffing,
and I was puffing, right? So
I wasn't puffing enough.
He wasn't puffing enough. So he just got it started, but he didn't give it enough attention right in the beginning, right? And
just like any relationship.
In a relationship, right? You got to give it enough attention. You got to give it the proper amount of attention. You don't want to over puff it because you're giving it too much attention. It's just gonna burn really, really hot, really, really fast.
There's a burn out.
Yeah. But nice good ratio. You see the way I'm holding it so it can burn. And at this point, my tobacco is burning very nice, evenly, and it's a cool burn. It's not hot. So we're gonna let him go ahead and torch that thing.
So now, do I do it, or is there just not enough ash here? Or should I dump out?
Okay. So now, basically, what Mike is saying right now, he wants to know that he wants to ash it so he can get some fresh tobacco. It hasn't burned enough, so he's good. So it's not enough.
All right.
So he can go back ahead and he can start torching that thing there and getting it, and you're rolling it, and then this time. As you get it hot, put it back to your mouth, take a nice good pull from it, so that way it can heat up in the inside more, and you'll know when it's hot because, go ahead, continue to torch it right there, and you're gonna see, there it is, you're gonna see that flame, bam, there he is, and you can blow that out, boom, it's good and hot, and what you can do too, you can turn your cigar towards you, right, turn it towards you, and you can just blow on it. And what you want to look for when you blow on it, when you're facing it, you want to make sure, you want to make sure that you got that red good blow all the way across the board.
Let's see if I can keep it that way.
So we should be okay. So we're gonna do nice good ratios between talking and puffing. Right?
Yeah, that's really good.
See. So you're learning something new. So if you're over there puffing on your cigar for the first time, take some notes.
Obviously, I'm a beginner here.
It's okay. We all had to start somewhere, right? Everybody.
And I can tell you, the last time that we were here, sitting here smoking, drinking, like 2 hours. We were here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So normally what we do is, while we do show up here every single Friday, the podcast that we recorded last time, we recorded for like 2 hours. So I cut that up. So you'll see us wearing the same clothes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I got sick. I mean, I didn't throw up or nothing, but I was like, woo! I got the queasy.
Since he put it out there, because he put it out.
I put it out there.
I was not going to say anything. And believe me, he cut it. He cut the video.
I'm like, pause.
I'm done. He's like, Chris, I got to take a break. I got to
go outside.
He had to walk around. He thought he had to throw up. I had to get him water. I'm like, Mike, did you eat anything? He's like, no. I'm like, Mike, no. What are you doing? Now, mind you, he picked his cigar. He picked the cigar himself. He said, hey, I'm going with this one.
This is...
And that's the one. And yeah, it made him a little sick. So if you're going to puff a cigar, you want to kind of know about a little bit more about cigars, right? So for the newbies, the beginners out there that's like, hey, I want to get a cigar. I mean, you can go to your local tobacconist and he'll kind of guide you. But you want to kind of start with a light body cigar. Typically, the light body cigars is with a lighter wrapper, a Connecticut wrapper. Right? Doesn't necessarily mean that it is light. It could be a full body cigar, but typically it's a Connecticut.
I don't know what body Connecticut.
He didn't. So he went for a full body cigar. Didn't eat anything, right? And he's just puffing away. Yeah.
Like I only ate breakfast that day, and we recorded
at 7
from 7 to 9 o'clock, and at 9 I was like.
So most definitely, depending on the cigar, right? You want to most definitely, if you're smoking a full body cigar, you want to most definitely make sure that you have something on your stomach. You just don't want to go into it just to say, hey, I'm puffing a cigar. And mind you, we all had to start somewhere. That happened to me when I first got into cigars. Early in the morning, I'm smoking cigars at 9 o'clock with a good buddy of mine. And we had Starbucks, right? That was a bad mix. Starbucks coffee, right? Caffeine. And then going to a cigar lounge and starting to puff on cigars was a bad idea. I was feeling very queasy. I was looking at cigars totally different. But I realized that, hey, I just made the biggest mistake because I didn't know any better. So we always bump our head. And I told Mike, I said, hey, Mike, don't allow this to steer you away from it, man. It's a beautiful thing. So Mike today, he was like, what? The first time we had a cigar, I had the one you had.
I had this one.
He had the lot 23.
We didn't do the podcast at that time. But then we were like, oh no, we were just out walking on the riverfront.
Yep. And so now he's like, I'm going back to that one. So I mean, as I try,
I'm good on this one.
Yeah, I'm good. This, like I said, this is one of my favorite cigars. Your palate does change, so your palate can change when you're puffing cigars. I've learned that. But so far, it's been consistent for me. Right now, mind you, I like this. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna like this same cigar, but the notes, the tones from this is beautiful. I love it. This is like, yeah.
I mean, comparing this to the other cigar, I do like this one better.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why. Just like if I was drinking wine, I'm like, oh, these tannins are blah blah. I don't know what the heck any of that stuff is.
Well, man, look at that ash. Man, I wish you all could really see this ash. This is a beautiful ash. You're probably like, what the hell? So with cigar people that smoke cigars, one thing about cigars, it's about how long we can get this ash to go without it falling.
Oh, so you're going to start going like this?
Yeah, I may hold it like this. Now, mind you, as I was told earlier that I need to celebrate along the way. So like I said, I'm really enjoying this cigar. I'm really enjoying the setting. As you can kind of see between the last podcast, we kind of switched it up. We got some better lighting.
Yes, we made a nice little set here.
So the atmosphere is very, very nice. So make sure with this one we get some nice, good, smooth music between it. Yeah.
Oh, how'd you like the music?
I liked it. It was real good. Right. But this is like setting the tone. So pushing forward for the rest of the podcast, this is most definitely the set. And mind you, as you watch us, I hope you're in an uninterrupted atmosphere, right? As you listen to us and we talk and we share some knowledge and we share some of the things that we're doing with our lives. I hope it truly inspire and motivate all of you that's watching.
We are obviously talking to you.
Right.
And, I think that while right now you could just be watching us on YouTube or Facebook, whatever, you could just be listening to us. You could be on the website, checking out the show notes, all that kind of stuff. But I think that maybe we figure out how to do like some live and stuff like that. I think that we're going to eventually do that right now.
Yeah, to have people.
Right now we got to get into.
We're building up right now.
Yeah.
So like
the biggest thing is consistency, right? We want to make sure that we're going to be consistent, that we answer all your questions, that that we like. Number one, we come here every Friday and hang out and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, that's what we do.
But we also, when I listen to podcasts and that sort of thing, I'm like, oh, this guy comes on every Thursday. That means Friday morning I'm going to listen or whatever. And if they don't show up, then I'm like, oh man, I missed that.
Right.
And that's the thing that we don't want to do to you because, as a marketer online, I know that consistency is key when you are getting followers. So one of the things that I actually talked to a client about today, their Instagram, I'm like, you guys are doing really good on Instagram. They're like, yeah, we're starting to post like once a day on Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, you guys are doing good. And they're like, and we're seeing new people. I'm like, that's because people live in their world, so they live on Instagram.
Yeah.
So you're getting those people that live on Instagram that follow certain hashtags, and now those people are they find you, and that's how they come in.
That's it.
Puff it.
It's time for him to puff. You can see this ash right now. I'm pretty sure you can. It is growing. So what the cool thing?
This is going good.
It's going good, right? So just think about this. This is my full cigar. I have an ash. This is the whole size of my cigar, right? So that's
mine too.
Yours too, right?
Obviously, I had to restart it.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's still there. We have an ash. We haven't had the ash, but it's pretty cool to be able to puff that cigar and knowing that it's a full cigar.
Now, let me ask you this question.
Yes. Okay.
Cigar question.
Okay.
I see that you cut yours the same way I cut mine the same way you cut yours.
Yeah.
With the
V cut.
With the V cut.
Mm-hmm.
So the last cigar that I did,
yep,
I did like whatever cut that is, the whole cut.
Yeah.
And I think I actually cut it too high.
Yeah. So
what's the difference? Why do you do it different?
Okay. So I mean, it's all about what you're in the mood for, right? So as you can see, the V cut is kind of like ended, so you can kind of stick your tongue in there a little bit. Too,
yeah.
Right. So because it's cut out, so it's all about the draw that you want from the cigar. So with yours, the one that it started to unravel a little bit.
Yeah.
Every cigar has a cap on it, right?
Yeah.
So when they roll the cigar, it's basically the cigar is the way that it started from the top. It's really how it was at the bottom.
And they just cut the top.
No. They put a cap on the bottom. So they round it off. So it's actually a piece. If you can kind of find
also, when I cut it and that little piece that came off when I first.
So then at that point you were into the wrapper. So that's why I began to unwrap. So that cap, you see how it kind of curves?
Yeah.
Right? So that cap is curving it to keep it all together. But if you cut it off, now you went to the wrapper. So now it'll unwrap a little bit.
Gotcha. I like this. I like the V cut.
So you got the V cut, you got the punch cut, you got the full cut. Different things. I mean, so the V cut is pretty cool. I like the V cut. I like the full cut. I like both of them. But
it all depends.
It all depends what mood you're in. I mean, you got the punch too. So basically, you can punch a little hole in it. Basically.
Oh man, I don't think I'm ready for that one.
No, it's pretty cool. So compared to just like a hole. So basically, you don't have to even worry about it. You punch it like a hole. You punch it a hole. It's like basically.
Yeah, but I think